Origins of Dr. Voodoo. Born in Haiti, Jericho Drum left for America to become a doctor. When he received word that his brother was dying because of a voodoo curse, he got revenge by learning voodoo from Papa Jambo, thus becoming an indispensable ally to Doctor Strange, Black Panther, and the Avengers. Jericho Drum was born in Haiti, where he was surrounded by a native culture that embraced voodoo and magic. Jericho left behind his younger brother Daniel and went to New York City, where he studied psychology. After 12 years away from his homeland, Jericho returned to Haiti to find that his brother had become the Houngan Supreme and was in conflict with an rival sorcerer who claimed to be empowered by a spirit god called Dambalat. Daniel was badly injured from his last battle with his rival sorcerer and was about to die. Daniel died, but not before he made Jericho take an oath. Daniel made Jericho promise that he would take the ways of their ancestors and avenge him. Jericho agreed and went to be trained by the soccer Papa Jambo. Sometime after Jericho found out that Papa Jambo was the last living lord of Loa, Papa Jambo intended that Jericho would be his successor. Papa Jambo summoned the spirit of Daniel and bound it to Jericho's soul. Now empowered by his brother's presence, Jericho donned the garments that would mark him as Brother Voodoo and the Houngan Supreme. Jericho then set out to avenge his brother's death. Brother Voodoo found Dambala and they battled. Dambala was exposed as a false god called Zobop. Brother Voodoo beat Zobop using the powers of Loa. The power of Loa enables Brother Voodoo to control fire and plant live, mesmerize people and raise the dead. Tomb of Dracula. When Dracula's descendant, Frank Drake, is attacked by zombies in Brazil, Drum and the spirit of his brother come to his rescue. Drum directs his brother to possess Drake so that they could fight the zombies together. Once in the clear, Drum sets his sights on Danny Summers, Drake's so-called friend, who set the trap for Drake. They tracked Danny back to his Brazilian cabin, where he admitted to meeting Dracula a year prior, who mesmerized Danny into setting Drake up. Drake was now determined to find Dracula, but Drum could not let him leave. He knew Drake was there to better himself after feeling inferior compared to his vampire hunting allies. Werewolf by Night. After receiving a vision of the three who are all, Drum patiently waited for Jack Russell's friend, Raymond Coker, to seek him out. Coker's relatives were attacked by zombies, and he was next. He assembled his supernatural friends so that they could help protect him. Unfortunately, they are too late when a mob of them make off with Coker's unconscious body. While they track Coker with Topaz, Drum uses the spirit of his brother to keep Jack's transformation at bay. Taking Drum's private plane to Haiti, they search out Devil's Grotto, a large pit full of demons. Avoiding the creatures, they eventually find Coker returned to his werewolf form by the secret mastermind, Dr. Glitter Knight. Drum attacks Glitter Knight with the spirit of his brother, causing Jack to transform. Together, they fight off Glitter Knight's zombie horde, but Glitter Knight's forces were too much for them. With help from the three who are all, Drum and Jack are able to break into Glitter Knight's lair. However, there is a catch. The three who are all reveal they were once the five who are all, Glitter Knight once being the fifth before betraying them and enslaving the fourth. In order for this ordeal to end, the heroes must kill the fourth, Fire Eyes. Drum is able to interrupt the magical spell Glitter Knight has on Fire Eyes, allowing Fire Eyes to turn on Glitter Knight, destroying each other with their evenly matched powers. After the success of the Montesi formula at wiping out vampirism as a whole, Marie Laveau searched for any traces as she required vampire blood to keep her eternal youth. She went as far as to mesmerize Victor Strange into stealing the Darkhold and running off to Haiti. To stop her, Doctor Strange and his compatriots, including Morbius, enlisted the help of Drum. They cornered her in an old fortress on the island where she had already reversed the Montesi formula. As night fell, the coffins broke open and Drum and the others came face to face with the newly resurrected vampire horde. While his allies were being overwhelmed, Drum called on the zombie of enslaved soldiers to fight back against the vampires. In the chaos, Laveau retreats. They tracked her back to Drum's Louisiana mansion, which she had guarded with a mystic force field. Inside, they could hear the screams of Strange's friend, Morgana. Laveau would exchange her for a page from the Book of Vishanti featuring the vampiric verses. Strange had no choice and made the exchange. With the page, Laveau was able to summon Varney, the first vampire, at the expense of Drum's friend, Bamboo. While Strange fought off Varney, Laveau tried to escape. Drum was able to tangle her in vines and recover the Darkhold, but Varney ultimately got away. The Scarecrow. Lilith had requested Drum's help with her growing bloodlust. In exchange, she would help him investigate suspicious zombie activity when 7 corpses went missing from a Brooklyn cemetery. Together, they find 6 of the corpses, having been fed on of their residual life energy by the 7th body, the body of Barbara Ketch, possessed by the villain, Scarecrow, who had made a deal with Blackheart. Scarecrow attacked them with crows, causing Lilith to lash out in a fury and run off. Drum tracked her to the location of the Ghost Riders, Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch, Barbara's brothers. Lilith was attacking Johnny while Scarecrow had abandoned Barbara's body for Danny's. Drum mystically soothed Lilith and dismissed her from the fight before she hurts anyone else. He then helped the Ghost Riders exorcise Scarecrow. Because Drum's ritual ended the resurrection altar's usefulness, Drum needed to find a new way to save Panther's life. He teleported Panther to Wakanda's medical facility where he put his medical training to good use. He also recruited Moon Knight, another African god-sponsored champion, to walk the spirit world and protect Panther's Ka until it could return to his body. The new Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange knew he lost the mantle of Sorcerer Supreme for some time and that the Eye of Agamotto would appear to the person that would replace him. He travels with the new Avengers to New Orleans where he believes the Hood is trying to kill the new Sorcerer Supreme before he or she can take their rightful place and claim the Eye. The Hood fights Daimon Hellstrom to the point where the infernal side of him becomes dominant. Doctor Strange then appears, assuming that Daimon Hellstrom was going to be the new Sorcerer Supreme. He tells him to run so that Dormammu could not possess the Eye. Daimon then tells Strange he does not have the Eye. Brother Voodoo then emerges from the ruins created by Damien and the Hood. Dormammu's fight. He is seen to possess the Eye of Agamotto, and it seems that he is now the new Sorcerer Supreme. Powers. Divine powers. Dr. Voodoo possesses a variety of divine powers, through the combination of voodoo and magic. Dr. Voodoo possesses numerous mystical and quasi-physical powers derived from the Loa, the spirit gods of voodoo. He can manipulate magical mystical forces, and elemental forces at his will. He can also summon mystical creatures to counterattack magical attacks. Healing. Dr. Voodoo can heal himself and others, through the use of magic and voodoo. The extent of his healing powers are unknown. Levitation. Dr. Voodoo used the cloak of levitation to simulate flight when he was Sorcerer Supreme. He can also use his magic to levitate without it. Magic. Dr. Voodoo is a very powerful magician, and has incredible magic prowess outside of his voodoo. He can combine his magic with his voodoo, increasing his overall powers and abilities. He's also immune to harmful magic, and most magic effects. Being the new Sorcerer Supreme, the most powerful overall sorcerer, he is one of the most powerful beings in the universe. Sorcerer Supreme. Dr. Voodoo was chosen for the high mystical position of Sorcerer Supreme by the Eye of Agamotto. After becoming the Sorcerer Supreme, his magical powers were significantly increased. Teleportation. Dr. Voodoo can instantaneously move from one place to another. He can use the Evanodar compatriot boost spell, to transport him to other dimensions. Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo is a master of voodoo magic. As a Houngan, he uses it as a form of order or white magic. Dr. Voodoo can easily enter into a trance-like state, in which he does not feel the heat from fire, and his skin becomes impervious to burning. He can also control flame and lower life forms. Dr. Voodoo can mystically create smoke accompanied by the sound of drums. The constant beat of the drums can disorient or unnerve an opponent. The smoke conceals his presence while he is able to see through it. Dr. Voodoo has the ability to command certain living things by a mystic sort of hypnotism, most effective over animals and plants. He can summon the LOA to request transport for himself and others instantaneously, if they deem it necessary to his mission. Dr. Voodoo can also summon the spirit of his brother Daniel Drum from within his body, which can double his strength, durability, speed, and stamina. He can send the spirit to possess another person's body and then has total control over their actions. Abilities. Combat. Jericho has knowledge in many different forms of armed and unarmed combat. Escape artist. Jericho possesses great escapist skill, allowing him to escape from traps and infiltrate places unseen. He once entered Strange's building, not through magic, but through the chimney. Intellect. Jericho is very intelligent. He has an extensive medical background in multiple types of conventional medicine. Jericho also has vast knowledge of magic overall, combined with his extensive knowledge of voodoo, thanks to training by Papa Jambo. Along with Black Panther and Blue Marvel, he's one of the most educated superheroes in the world. Psychologist. Jericho is a noted, successful, and wealthy doctor. He has a MD in psychology, over 12 years of education practice as an accredited psychologist, and extensive knowledge in the way of human behavior. Jericho also runs his own free clinic in New Orleans. Tracking. Jericho is a very skilled tracker. Through his use of his voodoo and magic, he can track anyone. Weapons master. Jericho is very proficient in the use of different kits of weapons. Weapons and equipment. Books of knowledge. Dr. Voodoo uses these books, such as the Book of the Vishanti, to help him train for his future quests. Drum also has the right to claim the Wand of Watum, according to Doctor Strange, but it is currently lost in another reality. Cloak of Levitation. The Cloak of Levitation allows Dr. Voodoo to fly at 25 miles an hour for indeterminate lengths. Doctor Strange's former costume. Dr. Voodoo has the use of Doctor Strange's former costume, and his enchanted sash capable of extending in length. Eye of Agamotto. The Eye of Agamotto is a mystical artifact used by the Sorcerer Supreme. Among its various powers, it can project mystical light for a variety of effects, allow its user the ability to fly, and give its user certain mystical perceptions into another's soul. It can also open dimensional portals, and cast a hypnotic gaze. Medallion. Jericho utilizes a medallion to assist him in harnessing the LOA, Orb of Agamotto, normally used for scrying. The Orb of Agamotto can be used to teleport others or to travel into Agamotto's personal realm. Staff of Legba. As the Houngan Supreme, Jericho is also a guardian of the Eternal Crossroads. He wields the Staff of Legba, a gift bestowed only onto the Houngan Supreme. It serves as a conduit for Jericho's mystical energies, and also grants him access to infinite dimensions, which he refers to as ever-dimensions. Voodoo paraphernalia. Jericho employs a host of voodoo paraphernalia such as voodoo dolls. Wand of Watum. Jericho has the right to claim the Wand of Watum according to Doctor Strange, but it is currently lost in another reality.